when the trust goes both ways, that they know that we're going to take care of them when we make a mistake, and we're also going to be at their, have their back when they make mistakes, because they do. There's nobody perfect out there.
Yeah,
we all make mistakes.
Yes, every single time.
How do you react when the stack is against you? And inevitably, I think that's one of the things that we do or try to do extremely well.
Welcome back to Torch Talk, the show where we spotlight bold local leaders leading their businesses with grit and purpose. Today's guest is Rick Mast, founder of the family-owned stone veneer manufacturer Casa di Sassi in Apple Creek, Ohio. With his roots as a high-performing athlete turned business leader, Rick now channels his competitive spirit into shaping a company that blends natural stone artistry with precision manufacturing. We'll explore how his journey from the court and field to the boardroom has shaped his leadership style, how the hands-on culture at Casa di Sassi fuels innovation, and how his values guide both company and community. So welcome to Torch Talk, Rick.
Thanks for having me.
I know you are so excited to be here and completely in your comfort zone today. Yeah. So I would like to maybe just start with, tell us a little bit more about Casa di Sassi. How did you guys get started? What does this look like? Tell us what your journey has been like.
The journey started probably back in 2003. I got involved with a local company that was one of our competitors currently that took care of their sales and marketing. We had a great run, went wide and deep across the country really fast. Unfortunately, not unfortunately for the employees, but the owners had a huge opportunity to sell the company to a private equity firm out of Utah. I think when we go back in that time period, we had a lot of fun. There was a ton of great people there. I thought maybe there was going to be roots that I was going to plant for probably the longevity of my working career. But as we went from the small business of what we were to the corporate side, I started getting some weird feelings in meetings that we were attending out in Salt Lake City, and I just felt, I don't know if this was God speaking to me or if it was just something that it was time maybe to make a move and do something for ourselves. And so there was probably about a year and a half where myself, family, did some planning, and we launched a company in 2010. And in 2010, we founded a company called Rock Decor. As many new ventures, we tried to find our way for the first, I'm going to say, 18 months to 24 months. Pivoted once or twice. Kind of found a niche with private labeling. Started private labeling to some of the larger manufacturers in the area. But I still always had that taste in my mouth that I maybe wanted to get back into stone. Because the Rock Decor, we were basically making widgets, accessories for the veneered stone industry. So we had an opportunity in 2013. I brought it to my family, and we talked and discussed that maybe there's a company out there that I thought might be one that we could acquire, and it was called Premier Mountain Stone back in the day. They had to, because of trademark issues, rename it to Casa di Sassi. Jerry Bixler would have been that gentleman that founded that company. Interestingly enough, his family would have been the original founders of Stonecraft from Apple Creek way back when in the early 90s. Mm-hmm. So deep roots in the veneered stone industry. Interestingly enough, your team was at our facility today. They got to meet Jerry. Jerry is still doing stuff for us, working with his hands. He's probably the best craftsman I've ever seen with natural stone. Okay. Never seen anybody that can basically take stone, natural stone, and carve it and mold it into what my eyes are trying to see. Mm-hmm. So him and I together, it's been a great ride over the last couple of years, creating interesting, trying to be unique profiles. But anyway, stepping back, approached Jerry and his partner in 2013. We haggled for about 4 to 6 months, I think, and came to an agreement that in 2014 we acquired Casa di Sassi. Mm-hmm. Along that way, they had a facility in Massillon. We had Rock Decor in Kidron. Had to do a lot of soul searching, like where did we want to go with this? In 2016 or the end of 15, we acquired the facility in Apple Creek and thought we were going to come together, bring these two companies and probably be there for there again a long period of time. Well, that didn't last long because we there again went wide and deep. We've been blessed. I mean, literally blessed with relationships across this country, now up into the 4 provinces of Canada, that you'll find Casa di Sassi being represented by great distributors. And as we were walking through the facility today, I was just reminded how blessed we were, that I never would have thought would be where we're at in 2025, soon to be 26. It's just crazy when we say that, how fast time goes. But this new facility was something that myself and the team we have in place, Rick Mast being one of them, are basically, he runs our production. My brother-in-law Brandon, we've done a lot of Brandon Mill, I should say. We've done a lot of like detailed planning on where we wanted to go with this facility. We probably haggled about it for about a year and a half, and came to the idea that this is something that we really want to do. We probably delayed it, I think, 8 months, just out of sheer. We were a little bit leery. Like, is this? There was more commas and zeros than I'm used to dealing with, and. But then we went ahead with it. I mean, there was when we did, there was no turning back. There was no regrets.
Are you talking about with building the new facility?
With building the new facility.
Okay.
And we launched that in the fall of 23. We basically, I think, started producing it in the spring. Look, these time frames could be a little bit off. I'm a little bit leery. There's bright lights staring at me. But I'm thinking the spring of 24, we started going full bore producing out of the Carr Road facility, and it's been such a tremendous asset to Casa.
So when you bought out Casa, you ended up combining the Massillon location into the Apple Creek location, and then that just wasn't big enough, so you had to build a bigger facility out on Carr Road.
Correct.
Just to make sure I understand. Which you now still have your offices are at the original facility, right?
Yeah, we still produce out of the Apple Creek facility. We make our our corners and our accessories there. Do all our samples there. We do all of the offices are there, except for the customer service is still over. We moved over to Carr Road, so they're right beside shipping.
So let's talk a little bit about the product and like what it is. Like pretend I'm a homeowner and I'm thinking I like stone, but I don't really know how to put stone on. So like, what do you guys make? How, like, is it mostly for new builds? Are you guys using this in remodels? I know you're selling through distributors. So like, what does that look like? What do you guys, I'm very curious about all of the product stuff. I've seen some of your samples. What are you seeing from design trends?
Ooh, there's a lot there in that question, Lindsey.
That was like 3 questions. Let's break it down. So for instance, when people ask all the time, like, what is it you do? Like, I mean, there's terms in there, so you lick 'em, stick 'em. We take natural stone and we create it into whatever profile we want it to look like. We then face it to a desired depth, and that depth usually in the sweet spot of around 1.5 inches, because there's thresholds that we have to meet in, let's just say weight per square foot on a wall to meet ASTM standards. But you're using real stone. We use real stone to make molds off of it. Okay.
And then we end up with a concrete. It's a colored concrete manufactured veneer.
But when you're making those molds, I think, didn't you use the term rock hunting? Like
rock hunts.
You're going on rock hunts too. Like basically, you're trying to be as close to the real thing as possible. Basically, is what I understand.
Yeah, okay. And I've been asked many of times, because I think in the past we've sort of detailed a little bit what we call a rock hunt, and that is literally whether it's down in the natural stone yards of Virginia. I've done a lot of rock hunting in Virginia. Quite a few yards in Tennessee has some really good stuff out of the Appalachian Mountains, but most of what I would call our best finds have come out of Utah.
Okay.
There's a couple places.
That makes sense when you look at the landscape.
There's kind of a big rock pile sitting out there that has a lot of various different species of natural stone that we pick from. But then, and it goes back to the way we do business. We've got relationships out there, and those relationships, like they kind of breed into, let's help each other. The particular stone yard that I go into, I know the guy's name. not going to give stuff away because I don't want any of my competitors like hearing where we're going. But so he actually walked around the yard with me and helped me assemble skids of natural stone that we then shipped in from Utah. I think on that particular find, we probably shipped in, I think it was about 12 skids of natural stone, which doesn't sound like much. But when I'm hand picking them out of other skids, it turns into a huge, valuable asset for us. And we put it into what we call the boneyard. So the boneyard is where we keep natural stone. If we're looking for a new profile, that's boom. First thing Jerry and I do is we go out to the boneyard. Is there something there we can use? So I know.
What happens if there's not? Then
Today,
you go rock hunting again?
So today is what is the date today?
I don't even know. It's
October
the
30th.
29th.
Yeah, tomorrow is October 30th. I just placed an order with a company bringing in about 8 skids of natural stone for a brand new profile that we're going to launch in early 2026.
Okay.
It's something that came out of, it birthed out of our sales meetings 2 weeks ago down in Stonewall. Every fall, third quarter, we do a third quarter sales meetings. In that meeting, we kind of determine what direction we want to go with colors, profiles, and discontinuations. And from that.
So that kind of leads to, or ties into my last question is, what do you see happening with trends, like in the home building industry? So how much do trends actually influence your design, or are you more just looking for something, is it more timeless, I guess, what you guys are creating?
Okay, so we tried not to get too much in what I would call the trendy fashions. Now, there are trends. I mean, whites have been a big trend for the last probably 3 years. Before that, there was a huge trend in gray. We kind of missed that, to be honest with you.
Brown's coming back from what I hear.
I'm not going to give it away, but I would tend to agree with you. I think one thing that we're really trying to focus on in the next probably 2 years is color without color. I mean, we're trying to say subtlety with boldness, if that makes any sense. And that is showing color, but yet people have to look to see it. And we're doing it very subtly. It's just different techniques that we're doing. We're prepping for automation in that world as well. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes that I think even your team's seen today that like, whoa, this is not just putting concrete in a mold. There's a lot to it.
But I think that's what makes your product different too. You're putting a lot of care and research and consideration into what looks good. And that I think is what makes Casa different, right? As a product, as a company. I mean, I have enough experience in the home improvement industry for a long enough period of time that I think I can speak to that. I've been around home exterior remodeling, and I've never heard people talk about stone the way that you do.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of in my blood. My dad was a mason for 42 years. So I grew up working on, job sites, mixing mud, handing a trowel, pointing brick, all this stuff. I found brick to be a little bit more on the boring side. It was too asymmetrical. My brain is
you're too
ADHD
for that. I'm
kind of out there.
Keep your energy active.
Interesting story. I remember back in 2003, my dad, I was sitting on the porch with my dad, and I told him, I said, hey, these two guys, I mean, I'm just say two guys, but the guys stopped by I was literally outside in the landscaping, and I remember this vehicle pulling up. I said, what do these guys want? And they approached me about wanting to come sell their product, and didn't take it lightly. I went and spoke with my dad, and he goes, "You want to do what? Selling like lick 'em, stick 'em stone?" I said, "Well," I trust those guys. I mean, and I think they got a great product. I said, I don't see what can go wrong here, and it's worked out. It really has. It worked out for them. I mean, those two changed people's livelihoods when they sold. They did it the right way. I want to make sure people understand that they changed let's just say the trajectory of my wife Jewel, and my family dynamic, giving us the opportunity to do kind of the things that we're doing now. Whether that's well viewed or not, that inevitably probably was birthed out of that sale. So it's
always fun to look back to it, like how God has his hand in our life, right? Like you were doing this, you ended up doing this, which everybody's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah,
and sometimes we don't even know why we're doing it. But then later you think, well, if I hadn't done this, if I didn't have this experience, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. Right. So I love hearing stories like that, where it's almost the, the bigger picture. But all right, so tell us what's happening now that you kind of gave us a history. What's current, what's new, Like, what's the future look like for Casa di Sassi?
There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. There really is. I mean, there's obviously coming out of that sales meeting, we need, we came out of there that we have to discontinue our, getting specifically, if you want to dive into the specifics, we've got a really bad field stone. I mean, it's ugly. I think it's nasty. I mean, it's not something that we're proud of. When people open our brochure, we want them to be proud and say, man, that's some good looking stuff. When I open our brochure and I see that, I'm thinking, I can't believe we still even have that in the book. So, so we're always trying to address those issues. And so this new stone is going to be my version and Jerry's version of what we call a asymmetrical field stone. We want to be able to lay a field stone asymmetrically coursed out with different sizes that the average eye can't tell that it's not mosaic. So we're trying to come up with a mosaic pattern that can still be laid horizontally, that achieves the homeowner's desired, let's just say, asymmetrical mosaic view. If that makes any, I don't know if that makes any sense.
I don't know if that'll make sense to anybody who doesn't lay stone, but I think I understand what you're saying with the patterns. And I think in general, like basically you're saying you don't want to look like the pattern's repeating itself too much, right? Like if it looks too repetitive, you're going to be able to, because natural stone doesn't look the same over and over and over again.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do is make it really easy to lay. Because I mean, the one thing that this industry is really facing, there's a shortage of craftsmen across the country. I mean, they're not making Jerry's of the world anymore. When I say Jerry's of the world, it's Jerry Bixler. I mean, they're, instantly, locally, there's these guys like Jerry Bixler, Al Wingard, Sean Whitmer, and all these guys who have been like in this industry for so long and installing so much square footage. There are just not many of those guys left. So we as manufacturers are forced to look at what does installations look like 10 years from now. So people ask me, what do you do, Rick? I said, I'm not sure. I don't know what I do at Casa, because they don't need me. They don't need me on a daily basis. Conrad gets mad when I'm there. Brandon doesn't want me asking questions. I
feel that. Okay?
Yeah, I say that jokingly. I mean, but I am not needed at that shop on a daily basis. I try to create, you ask leadership, I try to create a good morale. I try to encourage, I try to support. They'll probably say I get in their face a little bit too much. I'm not a micromanager. I'm not in their mess kit unless Brandon and I will see some things that we really think we need to get in their mess kit about. But for the most part, I mean, look, these guys are better than I am doing what they do. And at the end of the day, that has been my job since 2014, to assemble a team that's better than me. Unfortunately, it's made me really needless. So,
well, that's a whole other theory on business. I become the indispensable or the dispensable CEO. Make yourself not needed. That every business leader needs to learn how to do, or else we'll always be tied. So you can tell me your secrets later.
Well, I think the biggest thing that we've tried to accomplish over the last, I mean, it's crazy to say, but it's been 15 years now. It took a while. I mean, if you go back to 14, 15, I couldn't say this, but the last 3 years, if something happens to Rick, Casa's going to be fine. If something happens to Brandon, Casa's going to be just fine. If something happens to Conrad, Casa's going to be. And if you go down the list, we are not like a one-man band. I mean, this is not Rick's company. This is a group of people that have seen a desired goal. That at the end of the day, it's created a really good thing. I need to get this on tape as well. We have got the best customer service department in the industry, bar none. I thought we had that at the other place, and it was good. But with the customers that we've created with Katie and Sherilyn, I mean, it is off the charts good. When we call, I used to have a little fear, like what happens when our customers call in there? What do they hear? What do they? I mean, it is.
Doesn't that feel good to know that your customers are going to be taken care of?
It feels so good.
Like today, my team came out. I wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure you got taken care of. So.
Well, that's for them to determine. But
We'll
it was a good day.
Yeah.
Got to hang out with your people, your team. Hopefully, they felt like when they walked through that they felt part of our team. That inevitably is what we're trying to accomplish.
How many employees do you have altogether?
I think our FTEs right now is 57.
Okay.
57 quality people.
How long did it take to build to that? Like, so you've been in business for 15 years.
We've been hovering in the 50s for the last probably 2 years. Now, what we've done is we use automation, to make so that, we don't have to add, we call them FTEs, but it's a full-time equivalent. So we don't have to add people to grow. Okay. And I think with like this latest piece of automation we're bringing in here, being assembled probably by mid-November, theoretically it goes from like needing 12 in a particular environment down to 2. That leaves 10 bodies, or when you're looking at it from that vantage point, that on paper would not necessarily be needed. Mm-hmm. We're not going to get rid of those 10. We want to grow and not have to add. So, by process of elimination, that's how it works. Mm-hmm. So using, getting better with those 57, growing with that 57, as opposed to needing another, 5, 6, 7, 8 people.
Optimizing, being more efficient.
Yep. Increasing
capacity without increasing staff. That sounds like everybody's dream.
Yep. we are highly robotic.
Yeah.
Highly robotic. I love our employees. I also like robots. They're really good at what they do, and they're really consistent.
It's interesting to think about that with all of the talk about AI. Mm-hmm. Robots, that's been a part of your world for a little bit while now. Is there anything else, any other ways that AI would be impacting your business, like from a design standpoint or any other portion?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's actually something we've been mulling over. I've got a friend who's been introducing me to gentlemen that were big into AI. The big thing that I struggle with, Lindsey, is I don't know how it helps us, but I'm sure it can. Mm-hmm. It scares me to death. I always look at things through a biblical lens. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. I don't know. It scares me, but
I've been avoiding it for the last 5 years, honestly.
I could see you guys needing it more than us even. But.
It makes sense. Oddly enough, we're in a digital world and I run a marketing agency, and parts of me, but I'm a country girl and I was raised in the woods. And so there's definitely a part of me that wants to disconnect from all things digital and go run away sometimes, because it feels like it's changed so much. Mm-hmm. I definitely understand the conflict with the AI, and it has, they've been talking about it for a long time. We have adopted it now because it does make things easier. Like, we use ChatGPT to help do research and it makes us more efficient at what we're doing, and for video editing and all different types of things. But we don't know what's going to happen. We all watch too many movies.
Yeah.
So
I've seen too many movies that I think could end that way, and I'm just like, no, I'm going to stay away from that. But yeah, I do think, to answer the question, I do think AI can help us. Maybe it's optimizing the way we schedule. Maybe it's optimizing our usage in raw material. I don't know.
I was just somewhere and I heard that I was at an economic forum and they were talking about a very large company putting schedules in, mm-hmm. and it did something that would have taken them 3 days to do in scheduling employees out. And I was like, well, that's very interesting. There's definitely still a lot on the horizon with making things more efficient. Like what mm-hmm. you said, from a production standpoint, efficiency and optimization is always the goal in manufacturing, right? Like, how can we be more efficient? Is that ever not the question?
Correct. Every day.
Yeah.
Those are things that we all mull over. Those are things that you wake up, you think about, you go to bed thinking about.
So anything that is getting you really excited right now? It sounds like, you're new business, you grew, you're at the point now where maybe you're able to be in more of a maintenance stage, and you can grow, but you can grow more incrementally, and it's not as foundational, right?
I think seeing the team grow, coming at like that third quarter sales meeting, it's now a team. It used to be, it would be like Conrad Mast, my cousin, Brandon Miller, my brother-in-law. This is the ownership group. And then you have the sales team, Scott Murphy, our sales manager, and you start adding the reps in these various locations. It's starting to feel like a cohesive team, mm-hmm. a group that, quite frankly, one of the things that I'll put our resume up against anybody's, I think we have the strongest relationships in the industry. Mm-hmm. When you look at personal relationships with our distributors, I look at Ryan's relationships in the East. He's been in the industry as long as I have. He's got as many relationships in the industry as long as I have. To the point where these aren't customers, they're friends mm-hmm. that we just happen to do business with. Mm-hmm. For some of them, Ryan goes to church with them. Mm-hmm. It's that type of relationship. For me, deep relationships that go way back to 2003. I mean, I can tell you instances. I was texting a guy this weekend that I've done a lot of goose hunting with. I've never goose hunted before in my life, but I went goose hunting with what at that point was a customer, now is a really good friend of mine. He's not in the business anymore. His daughter runs the place, but he's texting me, just showing his grandchild shooting her first goose. You know, that takes me back to, you know, that takes me back to early 2000s of times that, quite frankly, then you start thinking how blessed you've been, because it's not been work along the way. I've got paid to do it, but it's just been it's been a treat to be in this industry, to develop relationships. I'd be remiss without saying Scott's relationships. Scott's relationships are as strong as anybody's in the industry, and he's kind of an okay guy to talk to. He can tick you off at
For
times.
context, so everybody knows Scott's daughter Lainey is an employee of Fierce, so she works at Fierce Creative. We would love any dirt that you have on both Scott or Lainey.
I got dirt on both, so
That's great.
That's probably a whole different torch talk in and of itself.
I can't wait for Scott to listen to this and be like, "Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I don't even know you people." That's what Scott would say.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I like the relationships that we have with across the country with our customers. It's just, I would be hard pressed to think that there's anybody like them. That people just calling us, texting us. I was at Madison Square Garden with our distributor in New Jersey last fall in a box that, I mean, because we enjoy each other. It's not this guy didn't have to take me. He wanted to show me New York City. And I said, yeah, I'll gladly go. Let's experience New York City. So
I mean, relationships are important to us too. And being in the home improvement industry for a while, I definitely saw that. But sometimes I saw, I'm curious to see if you experience this, but sometimes I saw that, like, when you're a vendor, you're working for a customer, right? So you want to build a relationship. So you also have the business relationship. Because you're selling to a wholesaler or distributor, you might not always feel this. I always wanted to be a good partner to our vendors because I don't want to be the bad customer, right? So, like, I want to genuinely care back. So it's not just because, I mean, I was buying from them, but I wanted them to feel okay or excited when I was calling them and not be like, or like be the problem. But then when we did need something, or if there was a problem, then you have a foundation to work off of that. At least around here, because the home improvement industry is very competitive and it's really tight and it's hard. Sometimes I see, like, in the construction industry, like the construction companies, or sometimes that partnership doesn't go both ways. What has that experience been like for you? Do you feel like there's ever and if that doesn't apply, then we can edit this out.
I don't know. I mean, the relationship is one that, quite frankly, gets strengthened when there's issues, if that makes any sense.
I always say conflict makes better relationships. If you can work through a problem together.
I was just on a call this week with one of our customers out west, and I was so happy when she said, look, I told the customer, do not worry, these guys got your back. And there's nothing better you can say when your customer is telling their customer that, look, yeah, we all agree that there's an issue with what we're seeing, but don't worry, they're going to be taken care of. And at the end of the day, that inevitably is what we're trying to create, is a customer base of people that trust us and we trust them. So when the trust goes both ways, that they know that we're going to take care of them when we make a mistake, and we're also going to be at their, have their back when they make mistakes, because they do. There's nobody perfect out there.
Yeah,
we all make mistakes.
Yes, every single time.
How do you react when the stack is against you? And inevitably, I think that's one of the things that we do or try to do extremely well. Is it always fun? No, it isn't fun writing checks. It isn't fun doing these things to fix. And the homeowner sometimes feels a little bit of, let's just say, like it's not quite what they thought they were going to get, but we always try to make so that at the end of the day, everybody can look at each other and say, okay, they did what they should have done. So
I appreciate that. That's good. Not true with everybody who is manufacturing products or wholesalers, so that's, a good testament to how you guys choose partners in who you're working with as well.
Try to operate with honesty and integrity. I mean, that inevitably is what, honestly, I'll go back to my days I was with Precision Door and Sugar Creek Industries before I started in that veneer stone side. And one of the things that was instilled deeply, which is today's Provia, you want to talk about honesty and integrity and quality people with a customer service mindset. To this day, some of those, I'm just going to say experiences fuel Casa and how we go to business, because there's a reason they've had the success they've had. We all have seen that. It isn't because they don't have good products. It isn't because they don't have great customer service. They've got all those things combined.
But theirs is all built off their values.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we try to do as best, but we're just a bit behind them when it comes to the revenue side.
Is that the goal?
No,
we're going to get there one day.
No. That will take somebody much stronger leadership than what I have. I can promise you that. I'm not sure I have that sort of bandwidth left, to be honest with you.
I don't know if anybody does.
Yeah.
So they're always doing something new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Rick, any final thoughts you want to leave for us?
Just blessed. I don't know what else to say.
We're going to call
blessed.
this episode #blessed.
Yes. Yeah. And just blessed to be in the position we're in, to service a customer base that is more than a customer base. It's relationships that we have built, not we have built, but our team has built over the course of over a decade, that I think is starting to get to be really fun. I think, family values that come into play. All of us have come from a strong family unit. We believe in the family unit. We try to take that to all our customers, and have
your daughters ever worked for you?
Jade did a little bit. So Jade is my oldest. There's some stories there that we won't talk about here.
I was going to say, how did that go? Managing kids is probably...
I'm probably a better dad than I am a boss. I'll just leave it at that. Actually, Tiana was in this summer doing a little bit of sample gluing as well. I don't think Haley ever did. I doubt if she ever did. But it's probably best to keep separation of work and family. But I think they turned out all right without being a Casa.
Yeah.
So
I was just curious. It's a big part of their life, whether they were there or not.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell everybody where they can, how do you find Casa di Sassi? How do we find out more about
you're my marketing director.
I am.
Yeah.
What's your website? Tell us where to go.
www.casadisassi.com. That is I have to say this all the time because nobody can. CASADISASSI.com. Or check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Facebook. We got probably some new things coming on LinkedIn. I'm guessing. But at the end of the day, check us out. And we got some good things on the horizon, do we not, Lindsay?
Yeah, we do. We're excited.
Yeah.
New partnership. Thanks for tuning in to Torch Talk. If today's story sparked something for you, share it with a colleague, community leader, or future change maker. Until next time, stay inspired, stay intentional, and keep your fire burning.